And make sure you have enough space on the floor. We're going to start from a lying down position. So whenever you feel comfortable, have all your stuff together and ready, we'll start lying down on the floor and just start to settle into your space. Start to arrive here on your mat and start to take a couple deep breaths as we wait for everyone else to join. And as always, post-class, feel free to reach out with any questions, concerns. The really amazing thing about teaching yoga online is that you don't have the pressure of being in a class and having people looking at you or watching. But on the counter side of that, you also don't have someone looking at you to, help increase form and that type of thing. So if you have any questions of any kind after class, feel free to let me know or reach out as well. So if you haven't already, start to make your way to a lying down position on the mat. And if you are doing yoga with music today, you can go ahead and start that from the very beginning by just clicking the first track there. And as you make your way into this lying down position, extend your legs long on the mat and place the palms down by your sides, either face up or face down, whatever is comfortable for you. And start to settle in here, maybe scooching the shoulder blades underneath the back and closing down the eyes. Starting to take some deep breaths in and out. Maybe counting an inhale for a count of 4 or a count of 6. Pausing at the top. And then exhaling the air all the way out for the same length of time. And start to feel the weight of yourself loosen, relax down onto the mat. And in turn, feel the support that the floor brings you, how it supports you from underneath on every corner of the body and provides you a spot to rest. Continue to take some deep breaths in and out. Finding a time and a space to arrive here on our mats today. Most of you know me pretty well and know that I adopted a puppy about 4 weeks ago. And also for those of you who know me, know that I am not a very patient person. And the last 4 weeks have tested my patience in ways I was and was not prepared for. And after a day of Luna wreaking havoc on my shoes, the kitchen, growling at me, and causing all sorts of trouble, there are a couple precious moments at the end of the day where she will lie down on my chest and she falls asleep. And I can feel the little beating of her heart. And her and I are both content. And it makes this test, these challenges throughout the day, seem a little more worth it. And then every day it gets a little easier, and I yell no a few fewer times. This idea of patience is one of the most challenging things for myself and many others. The last several weeks of sheltering in place have tested all of our patience in different ways. Maybe with kids we have at home, maybe with new pets, maybe with mental, emotional, and physical stability as well. And patience, like all of these things, can be learned, it can be tested, and it can be improved. So in yoga, we start with cultivating patience for ourselves, and then in turn seeking to translate that off the mat to other people. In our practice, it is natural for the mind to wander. And as much as yoga is a physical practice, it is more importantly a mental one. We are learning to train the brain. So throughout practice today, when your mind begins to wander and go to various things that you have to do or people you have to see, you find your thoughts drifting, simply label your thoughts as thinking. And then gently guide your attention back to the breath, back to these inhales and the exhales that ground us down throughout our practice. Today, we'll focus on being patient with ourselves, meeting ourselves where we are right here, right now, today. Take a deep inhale in, filling the lungs all the way up. Deep exhale, let it go. And the next inhale, stretch the arms overhead, big full body stretch, as if you're waking up for the first time this morning. And on the exhale, roll to your favorite side and give yourself a little hug here. And then rolling back onto your back, hugging knees into the chest, keeping the eyes closed and rocking from side to side, massaging out the back body. And then maybe rocking a little forward and a little back, warming up the spine. And then finding your back down on the ground, extending both legs out long in front of you. And inhale to bring the right leg in towards the chest, hugging the knee and outside the rib cage. And then on the next inhale, straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling, grasping hands behind the right thigh. And as you inhale, start to pull the leg in towards the chest. At the same time, inhaling, pulling the leg towards the chest, fire up the thigh, flex the foot, push back into the hands. You should start to feel a fire warm up in your leg. Inhale to bring the leg closer to you. And exhale, push the quad back into the hand. Each inhale, pulling the leg a little deeper. Hug the knee into the chest again, giving it another squeeze. And then exhale, release the right leg back down on the mat. Inhale the left leg in towards the chest, hugging the knee to the outside of the rib cage. And then extending the left foot towards the ceiling, lacing fingers behind the left thigh. Relaxing shoulder blades down, but inhaling to draw the leg closer to you. As you draw the leg closer, fire up the quad, the hamstring, flex the foot, push the leg back into the hand. Inhale, pull a little deeper. Exhale, push. On the next exhale, lower foot down to the mat. Legs reach out long. And then squeeze both legs into the chest. Hug one more time. And start to rock and roll up the length of your mat again. And as you gain more momentum, you start to rock up towards an easy seated position, crossing the legs in front of you. And if your hips are tight here, feel free to move the feet out farther on the mat, giving your hips a little bit more space. Wherever you are, find a comfortable seated position, stacking the shoulders over the hips, engaging the core here to bring yourself into an upright position. And rest palms down on the knees, maybe closing the eyes for just a second, one more time. Breathing into the back body, the abdomen. Taking a moment here to feel the support of the floor underneath you. Blinking the eyes open, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, reaching fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Continue here, connecting your breath to your movement, reaching arms towards the sky on an inhale and exhaling them down to heart center. The next time your hands connect together at heart center, take a second pause. Inhale the air all the way in. Exhale, drop right hand down by your side. And inhale the left fingertips up and overhead. As you inhale, lengthen the crown of the head towards the sky, fingertips reach. And exhale, start to tip over, scooching right fingertips out towards the right. And inhaling to roll the chest up and open towards the sky. Maybe gazing slightly up at the fingertips. On the next inhale, reach the left fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. Breathe here. Inhale, reach the right fingertips towards the sky, this time lengthening through crown of the head, through right fingertips. And as you exhale, start to tip to the left, walking fingertips out, reaching right fingertips up and overhead. Inhaling to spin the chest up and open. And exhaling to fold a little deeper. The next inhale, reach right fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, both hands come down to the mat beside you. Inhale, reach both arms up in front of you. And exhale, wrap left elbow under right. And then twist the palms together, either back of the hands connect or palms connect. And as you engage the twist, you inhale to reach the arms away from you. Feeling the stretch through the back of the shoulder blades. And inhaling to lift the arms just a little higher. Maybe taking a minute to roll the neck clockwise, counterclockwise. And on an inhale, unbind the hands, reach the hands towards the sky. Exhale, right elbow comes under left this time, wrapping forearms together, palms connect. And inhale, reach the arms away from you. And then if you did so on the other side, taking small circles in the neck. On your next inhale, reach the arms towards the sky, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Reach right arm out in front of you this time. Grab right forearm with left hand. And pull fingertips back towards your face as much as you can. You should start to feel it burn up your forearm. And at the extent of your range of motion, start to circle the wrist clockwise, reaching into all extents of your wrist here, warming up the forearms, the hand, and then flipping the direction and moving the wrist counterclockwise. We spend a lot of our time on our wrists, on our hands in yoga. And if you, like myself, struggle with wrist pain, making sure to warm up the wrists is a vital part of our practice. Switching hands, reaching left arm out in front of you, grabbing left forearm with right hand, and pulling the fingertips back towards the face as much as possible before circling the wrist down and around. Starting to burn the fire up into the left forearm. And then flipping the direction, going the other way. And then letting go of the wrists, inhaling, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a minute here, close the eyes. And then blinking them open, roll forward over shins, come into a tabletop position. Stack your hips over your knees here, shoulders over wrists. Untuck toes, push tops of the feet firmly into the mat. And then take a minute to rock forward, maybe rocking clockwise, counterclockwise, big circles at first. And then start to make the circles a little smaller. Coming to a place where the weight rests evenly through all four corners of both palms. Press down through the fingers, engage. Maybe the fingers start to tent up a little bit. Engage the core here. This is the base of a lot of our posture. Inhale, broaden the chest forward, bring the chest up and through, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, bring the chest through, cat pose. Exhale, cow. Continue here, connecting your breath to your movement. Trying to initiate this movement from the tailbone, rippling up the spine, crown of the head moves last. Come to a neutral spine, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, look over right shoulder, bring right hip closer to you. Inhale to center. Exhale, look over left shoulder. Continue here, bringing a little bit of nonlinear movement into your spine. Maybe dropping hips towards heels, maybe reaching a little farther forward. Finding a place that feels good, a place that feels interesting. And then coming back towards a neutral spine, tabletop position. And we'll inhale, reaching the right foot through the hands, and then scooching it a little bit farther forward. And as you find a base, square your hips towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reach arms up and overhead, sinking deeper into this lunge, stretching through left hip flexors, maybe right glutes. And maybe slightly back bending, reaching arms up and overhead, dropping head back just a little. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, straighten the right leg, pull right toes towards the face, reaching into the hamstrings on the right side. Inhale, shift forward, reaching arms up and overhead. Exhale, shift back, pulling right toes towards the face. Inhale, shift forward one more time, grounding down through the heel of the right foot. Inhaling to lift arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And as you inhale, start to twist to the right as far as possible before hooking left elbow on right knee. Low lunge twist. Maybe using the contact of the palms to twist you a little deeper. Breathe here. Inhale, neutralize the spine. Exhale, hands come to the mat, right knee steps back. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow. Inhale to a neutral spine, stepping left foot in between the hands. Maybe scooching left foot a little bit more forward, grounding down through the left heel. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, bringing right hip forward, left hip back. Reach through the fingertips, relax the shoulder blade. Exhale, bring hands to the mat, straighten left leg, pull toes back towards the face. Inhale, shift forward, reach arms overhead. Exhale, hamstring stretch, pull the left toes towards the face, pull left hip back. Inhale, shift forward, grounding down through the left heel, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And as you inhale, start to twist as far as you can to the left before hooking right elbow on left knee. Breathing into the twist here in the thoracic spine. Pressing palms together deeply. Inhale, neutralize the spine, hands come to the mat. Exhale, step the foot back. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow. Round the spine. Inhale, shift forward, keep toes tucked. And then exhale, keep triceps in, elbows in, slowly lower down all the way. Inhale, come up a little to no weight in the hands, engage the quads, press tops of feet into the mat. Low cobra. Exhale, plant palms, push back through tabletop, and then to child's pose. Keeping arms engaged, reaching fingertips forward, maybe tenting up the palms so that the fingertips grip the ground. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down, keeping elbows in. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, push back, tabletop. Yeah, and then child's pose. Maybe moving the knees farther apart to allow the belly to sink between the knees. Relaxing forehead down on the mat and rocking it side to side, massaging out the third eye. And then on your next inhale, planting palms, tucking toes, and pushing the hips back. Coming into your first downward facing dog. Take a minute here to walk out the dog, bending right knee, then left. Maybe bending both legs deeply to elongate the spine. And then starting to straighten, engaging the legs, dropping heels towards the ground. And pressing down through the palms of the hands, bringing more weight into the thumb and the first finger side. If you're tighter in the shoulders, you can always move hands farther apart. Or similarly, if you're tighter in the hamstrings or the hips, moving the feet to the far corners of the mat. Prioritizing the length in the spine here. Bending the knees generously if need be. And remembering to breathe. Inhale and exhale. And if you start to feel your mind wandering and your thought takes you on a journey, simply label it thinking and direct your attention back to the breath. Inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees generously. Bottom of the exhale, step the feet up between the hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, shifting more weight into the balls of the feet. Bend knees, inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Taking right hand and placing it palm up out to the side, left hand comes to the hip. And from here, we'll take a minute to warm up the shoulders. Pretend like you're carrying a tray of champagne. And bring the tray clockwise up and around, and then down and through. Don't worry about getting the movement just right. Just keep the palm parallel to the ground. Keeping the core engaged, moving only from the shoulder, the arm. Exhale, right hand comes to right hip. Left arm reaches to the side, palm parallel to the ground. Inhale, keep the palm level, sweep the tray up and over, and then down and around. Keeping the feet engaged, quads engaged. And then when you've done a couple circles here, inhale to sweep both arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, bringing hands through heart center, swan diving out to the side. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale to fold. Shifting more weight into the balls of the feet, relaxing the head, neck. Shaking the head, yes. And then shaking the head, no. And then yes again, because we are here. We are okay. We are being patient with ourselves. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting hands on the mat and stepping back high plank. Similarly to in tabletop, rooting down through all four corners of the hands. Reaching heels away from you. Tailbone reaches towards the heels, crown of the head reaches forward. You can always drop to knees here if this is too much, or keep the knees lifted, engage the core. And then dropping to knees, untucking toes, shifting forward, keeping elbows in, lowering all the way down to the mat. Placing right ear down on the mat, taking a minute to breathe, arms come behind you. And then look forward, interlace the fingers behind the tailbone. And inhale to peel the chest off the mat. Gaze remains slightly towards the ground. Engage the core, the legs, press tops of feet into the mat. And pull the fingers a little farther down the tailbone. Exhale, lower down. Let go of fingers. Place palms underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press back through tabletop. And then tucking toes, pushing hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach right leg towards the sky, keeping hips neutralized towards the front of the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch it in. Inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right tricep, engage through the palms, squeeze the core. Inhale, reach right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, twist across. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, crunch the knee to the nose as much as you can before stepping right foot in between the hands. Take a minute here to square your hips towards the front of the mat. Reach heel back away from you, engage the left quad. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, high crescent, Anjaneyasana. Relax shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, tip forward, creating one long line of energy down the leg. Exhale, stay. Inhale, start to twist as far as you can to the right before hooking left elbow on right knee. Keep squeezing the back quad. Press through the hands to twist more open. Crown of the head reaches up and away from you. Inhale, come back to center, reaching arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch it in. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, left knee, right elbow twisted across. Inhale, reach. And exhale, crunch knee to nose as slowly as you can, stepping left foot between the hands. Taking a minute here to find your balance, rooting down through the heel of the left foot. And inhaling to reach arms up and overhead, Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Start to tip forward. And as you inhale, twist as far as you can to the left before hooking right elbow on left knee. Engage the right quad, push right heel away from you. And maybe sink a little deeper into the right left knee. Push palms together. Inhale, come back towards center, reach arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a minute here to clear the breath, inhaling all the way in. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. One more time, inhale all the way in. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. Bend knees generously, look between the hands, bottom of the exhale, step or float forward, top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Relaxing head, neck, shoulders. Unclenching the jaw. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to fold a little deeper. Bend knees, inhale, sweep arms open overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands come wide, spill forward, leading with the chest. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the palms, stepping back into high plank and moving through your vinyasa. Either keeping knees lifted, moving through a full vinyasa, or dropping the knees, untucking the toes, and lowering down here. Inhaling to your version of a back bend low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck toes, push hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, crunch the knee in as much as you can before stepping right foot in between the hands. Pivot left heel towards the ground, neither heel to toe or heel to arch alignment of the foot. And find your balance here before sweeping arms up and around, coming into warrior two. Take a minute to settle in here, grounding down through the heel of the right foot and the outer edge of the left. And then scooping right buttocks under, but engaging the left leg. Opening up the hips and reaching arms away from you. Breathe here, relax the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach forward as far as possible. And then tip into side angle, resting right elbow on right knee gently. And moving left arm up and overhead. Maybe sink a little deeper into the front leg, but keep the engagement in the back. Inhale, cartwheel arms up, reverse the warrior, sweeping right arm up and overhead. Bend deeply into the front knee. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hugging calf towards the shin to keep a micro bend in the front knee. Inhale, shift forward as much as possible before tipping into triangle. If the floor feels far away, you can always grab a water bottle or put hand on shin. And inhale to reach left arm towards the sky here. Gaze remains at the ground or directly in front of you, keeping neck aligned. Breathe. Exhale, bend front knee, come back, warrior two. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down, pivot back onto ball of the left foot. Inhale, sweep right leg up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here, inhaling all the way in. Exhaling the air all the way out. Inhale, sweep left leg towards the sky. Exhale, crunch knee to nose as much as possible. And then step left foot in between the hands. Pivot right heel down towards the mat, heel to heel or heel to arch alignment of the feet. And then inhale, cartwheel the arms up and open, warrior two on the left side. Root down through the left heel and the outer edge of the right foot. Maybe flip palms face up, reaching the palms away from you. Feel how that engages the triceps and then the traps. And then flip palms back over, reaching away from you. And maybe sink a little lower in that front knee. Starting to feel the fire burn. Inhale, reach forward as much as possible. Exhale, tip into side angle. Gently resting left elbow on left knee. And then reaching right arm up and overhead. If you have pinching in the shoulder here, you can always sweep the arm under and around instead. Inhale, cartwheel the arms up, reverse the warrior, left fingertips reach overhead. Exhale, back, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Keep a micro bend in the left knee. Inhale, reach forward as much as possible before tipping into triangle. Using a prop to bring the floor closer to you. And then inhaling to spin the chest up and open. Inhale, bend, front knee, come back, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel, hands back down to the mat, pivot back onto ball of right foot. Inhale, sweep left leg up and back. Exhale, foot comes down to the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands, bottom of the exhale, step or float forward, top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms face each other, fingertips reach towards the sky. Move feet hips width distance apart here if they aren't already. And then on the next exhale, sit the hips back, chair pose. Bringing weight into the heels of the feet, maybe toes lift. And tailbone directs towards the floor to keep from arching the back. Reach fingertips forward, triceps forward, biceps back. Stay here, breathe, inhale and exhale. Inhale again, reaching fingertips away from you. Exhale, hands to heart center, straighten legs, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting hands, stepping back, moving through your vinyasa. or moving straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches towards the sky. Exhale, left foot steps behind left hand. Pivot right heel towards the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Warrior one. Hips face towards the short edge of the mat. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, left elbow comes below the right. Twist palms together, Gomukhasana arms. Reach arms away from you. Inhale, tip back onto the ball of right foot. And as you start to tip forward, more weight comes into the left foot until the right lifts, bringing you into warrior three with Gomukhasana arms. Engage the left hip, level the hips towards the ground, reach arms away from you. If the grasp is too much, you can bring your hands to heart center, maybe behind you, airplane arms. If you have the wrap, inhale, start to tip up towards standing. Right foot remains off the ground. Right knee comes to 90 degrees. And exhale, sit down, wrapping right knee on top of left. And from here, sit the hips back, moving into eagle pose, squeezing everything towards the center of the body. And if the wrap is too much, simply cross the knees or move towards a full bind, wrapping right foot behind left calf. As you inhale, start to move towards standing again. And exhale, shoot the right leg back as slowly as you came up. Stepping back, inhaling to warrior one. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a clearing breath here, inhaling the air all the way in. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. Inhale, right leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, right foot steps behind right hand. Pivot left heel towards the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one on the right side. Keeping hips leveled towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, right elbow comes below left, palms wrap together. Reaching the elbows away from you. Inhale, pivot back onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, stay. Inhale, start to tip forward, moving more weight into the right foot until the left lifts. Coming into warrior three, flexing the back foot, reaching heel away from you. Hugging everything into the midline, reaching elbows away, or unbinding hands here. As you inhale, start to bring the left knee forward and through to staff pose. And then exhale, start to move left knee over right, sitting back into your chair, eagle pose. Wrapping the legs either once or twice. Inhaling to reach elbows away from you, sit a little deeper. Inhale, unbind the legs. Exhale, shoot the foot back as slowly as you came in. Stepping back into warrior one. Inhale, reach the arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, sweeps the right leg up and back. Exhale, foot comes back down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Drop to knees, push hips back, untuck toes, child's pose. Take a minute here. Inhale the air all the way in. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. Staying here for a minute if you need to, or meeting us back downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees, bottom of the exhale. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to fold, relax head, neck, shoulders. Shake the head out. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Turning 90 degrees, parallel to the long edge of your mat, step the feet out so that ankles rest underneath wrists when arms are extended. And then hands come to hips. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale, fold forward over straight or slightly bent legs. Keeping hands on the hips or releasing the hands towards the mat. Forward, fold. Shifting more weight into the balls, the toes of the feet. And hugging the inner arches to prevent from rolling the ankles. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold again. From here, bend both knees slightly. Start to shift to the right side, bending into right knee completely. Left foot comes off the ground. Either staying here, or if your hips and knees are tight, or coming all the way down, resting right glute on right ankle. And then staying here. We're starting to move hands towards heart center. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, stay. Either using the hands to help or keeping hands at heart center, start to engage through the right leg, shift over to the left, bending left knee. Either keeping hands on the ground or hands at heart center, flex the feet towards the face. Breathe. One more time, engage, shift to the right, bend right knee. Coming onto ball of right foot. Inhale, engage, squeeze the glutes, bend left knee, shift to the left. Engage, push through left foot, come back, feet point forward. Inhale, hands to hips. Inhale, broaden chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. And then pivoting towards the front edge of your mat, planting palms, stepping foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees, bottom of the exhale. Step or float forward, top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, inhale, sweep arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, placing hands on hips, inhaling, bringing right knee up to 90 degrees. We'll move into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose here. You can always stay with a knee at 90 degrees, balancing in staff pose if this is too much. If you'd like to move further, we will start here, pushing down through all four corners of the left foot, engaging left hip and dropping right hip down. And then once you feel steady here, keeping left hand on left hip and starting to reach the two fingers for the right toe. Steady yourself here, drop shoulders down the back. Inhale, start to lengthen leg, straightening the foot away from you. Breathe. If foot is straight, maybe you start to point the toes. And then inhale, come back towards 90 degrees. Move hip out to the side. If this is too much to straighten, keep knee here. Focus on the active engagement of the hip flexors, keeping knee rotated out to the side. If toe is hooked between the fingers, start to straighten leg to the side. Engage left hip. Maybe point right toes. And then moving as slowly as you came in, exhale, bring knee back to 90 degrees. Hand comes to hip, exhale, foot down to the mat. Shake it out. Maybe flipping toes, stretching tops of feet. And then moving into this pose on the other side, rooting down through right foot, transferring weight all onto the right sole of the foot. Inhale, bringing the knee to 90 degrees here. And staying here, focusing on engaging right hip and dropping left down, flex the left toes. Or hooking left big toe between the first two fingers. And inhaling to start to straighten the leg. Keep the engagement of the hip here. Maybe you start to point the toes. Breathe. Exhale, come back towards 90 degrees. And if you're staying here, start to rotate knee out to the side. Drop left hip down, engage right. Hold. Or you start to grab the toe again and inhale to straighten the leg out away from you. Breathe. Relax the jaw, relax muscles that you don't need. Exhale, let go of the foot, bring knee back to 90 degrees. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, foot comes down to the mat. Shake it out. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting palms, stepping back, high plank. Either drop to knees here or keep the knees lifted. Untuck toes if you're on your knees. Exhale, drop down, not all the way. Hold, engage triceps. Exhale, push back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push. Inhale, lower one more time. Exhale, push back up. And then tuck toes, push hips back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it in before placing right foot in between the hands. Rotate left heel down towards the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and around. Warrior two. You can always stay here, keeping gaze directed over front fingertips, working on tracking the right knee over second and third toes, engaging the glute, the back leg, and breathing. Being patient with where you are right here, right now. Or if you'd like to try something a little different today, we'll start to move towards bird of paradise. As we inhale, we'll shift forward all the way. Exhale, right elbow comes to right knee. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips overhead and rotate open. To move towards bird of paradise, we'll start to bind the hands, wrapping left hand behind the back, reaching for outer or inner edge of right thigh. And maybe you stay here. Or maybe you start to move towards a full bind, reaching right arm under the leg and clasping the hands behind the back. If you've got the bind, sink into the right knee. Inhale, spin the chest up and open towards the sky. If you're in warrior two, that is okay too. If you'd like to play with Bird of Paradise from this full bind, we'll start to walk the left foot in, and we'll start to walk the feet towards each other. And then coming onto ball of right foot, inhale, start to lift, placing all the weight in the left. And maybe you come here. Focus on this before you straighten the leg. Engage the left hip. And then once you feel steady, inhale, start to straighten right leg. And when you've had enough, exhale, come back. Moving towards a forward fold, releasing hands. If you're in warrior two, pivot towards back toes, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back, pivoting heel towards the floor. Inhale, sweep arms up and around. And from here, tipping forward, side angle. Wrapping arm behind you. And then moving towards a full bind if possible. Spinning chest up and open towards the sky. Start to walk toes in towards you, coming onto ball of left foot. And inhale, start to come up onto right foot. Stay here. Or start to straighten the leg. And when you've had enough, coming out as slowly as you came in, moving back towards a forward fold. Inhaling to lift halfway. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, bend knees, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, start to move hips towards the mat as slowly as you can, coming down into a seated position. Stretch legs out in front of you. Inhale, broaden the chest, reach crown of the head towards the sky. Inhale to reach arms overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Broadening the chest, reaching chest forward first. Inhale, walk hands up, shins back towards you. Bend knees, knees point towards the ceiling. Reach arms out in front of you. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Take a minute here to feel the floor underneath you. Inhale, squeeze knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side. Cross right knee over left this time, and inhale, bring the knees towards you, grabbing for outer sides of the feet, flexing the feet and then pulling the feet towards you. You should feel the stretch up the right glute. Stay here, breathe. Feeling the heart rate slowing. Inhale, unbind the feet, hug the knees in, Apanasana. Stay for the exhale. Crossing left knee over right, this time flexing the feet, grabbing for outer sides of the ankles, pulling knees in towards the chest. Feeling the low back rest down on the mat. Exhale, release the bind, hug knees into chest. And then bending knees, reaching soles of the feet towards the sky, reaching for outer edges of the feet. Happy baby pose. Squeezing knees to the outer sides of the ribs. And rocking from side to side. Maybe straightening one leg. Maybe the other. Maybe straightening both to come into super happy baby. And if there's any last poses or postures you need to take, feel free to do so now. If not, start to extend legs out on the mat, making your way into your final resting pose. Scooching shoulder blades underneath you, reaching palms out, taking up as much space on your mat as you can. Maybe if you're feeling like you need a little energy from the world today to be patient with yourself and with others, you place palms face up, letting the energy soak in through the palms, through the rest of your body. Maybe if you have a little left to give today, you place palms face down, sending this good energy, this light, this love back into the earth, back into your surroundings. Let go of the conscious control of the breath and settle into Shavasana. You'll be here for just a couple minutes before I bring you out. Start to bring a little life back into fingers and toes, wiggling the fingertips, squeezing the quads, inhaling to full body stretch, reaching arms overhead. And then whenever you're ready, rolling to your favorite side, resting a head on a bicep, curling knees in towards the chest. Whenever you feel ready, taking the top hand, placing it down by the shoulder, and using it to help you push yourself back up into a seated position. Maybe crossing your legs the other way, the way that feels a little less natural this time. Closing down the eye, resting palms on the knees. And in the spirit of focusing on patience with ourselves, with others, I'll read a poem I found. We have not wings, we cannot soar, but we have feet to scale and climb. By slow degrees, by more and more, the cloudy summits of our time. The mighty pyramids of stone that wedge-like cleave the desert airs, when nearer seen and better known, are but gigantic flights of stairs. The distant mountains that uprear their solid bastions of the sky are crossed by pathways that appear as we to higher levels rise. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Inhale, hands come to heart center and then to third eye to acknowledge the love, the wisdom that we hold there. Hands come to lips to remind ourselves to speak kind words to ourselves, to others. And finally, hands come down to the heart to acknowledge the love, the compassion that we share for ourselves and for others together, even though we are far apart. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming this Saturday morning. Like I said at the beginning of class, if you have any questions, concerns, want to know more about any of the poses or anything, feel free to reach out. Drink lots of water throughout the rest of the day and have a great rest of your Saturday. And as always, if you have any feedback or things that could make this better, feel free to reach out. Thank you all.